Well, first off, Eric, how excited are you to get a disc golf team started in Emporia State?
Oh, thrilled, honestly. I don't think it's fully set in yet, what's actually happening here, but it's always been a goal of mine to kind of pass that knowledge on, and for it to be at Emporia State in my hometown is just such an honor.
You know, for this being the first disc golf team and the popularity of disc golf, for this to happen now, how special is it?
It's huge. The growth of the sport in the last couple years has been just phenomenal, and it's the right time. Very innovative for Emporia State to be one of the first to do this, and that's huge. There's other teams and that out there, but hopefully this will kind of start a pattern for hiring coaches and taking it serious. And because that's absolutely what the sport has done. It's really evolved, and being right here in the trenches is fantastic.
So, what are your goals as the coach of Emporia State disc golf?
That's a great question, Greg. A big goal of mine is obviously to put a competitive team together for number one. But I set my sights high, and I would love to bring a national championship right back here to Emporia State.
Landon, you want to go next?
I guess this is a general question. Why Emporia State?
So I grew up. I was born and raised right here in Emporia, Kansas. I got a lot of ties to Emporia State. My wife actually is getting her master's degree here at Emporia. I've got a lot of friends that go to Emporia, and Emporia knows disc golf. That's all there is to it. And what better place to start than Emporia, Kansas?
That's very fair. I know that in the MIAA, Fort Hays has a really strong disc golf team. Are you going to try to compete with them, or I guess what's the goal to become competitive?
Sure. There's collegiate events all over the country. There's a bunch of them in Kansas. There's one coming up in a couple months down in Winfield, Kansas, at the farm, where they're having a bunch of teams come together, and I'm hoping to have a squad down for that one. It's at a course I designed, so I'm very partial to it. But yeah, being competitive with not just other colleges here in Kansas, but all across the nation.
Katie, do you have anything?
Yeah, so I know Emporia has kind of been dubbed the disc golf capital. How do you think that's going to impact recruiting?
I think it'll be huge. With the help from the city of Emporia, obviously Emporia State University, and Dynamic Discs doing their contribution as well, bringing people to Emporia that's known as disc golf Disneyland almost. We host one of the biggest events here a year. We have more courses per capita than anywhere else, and if you want to play disc golf, Emporia is where to go. So.
Yeah, and I was wondering if you could kind of walk us through how this kind of came together. You getting propositioned with this position, what made you want to take it, that whole kind of process.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we're still in the learning process, the learning curve, so to speak, of what's happening and what's going on. But I was approached by Doug, our president of Dynamic Discs, and Emporia State had reached out to him to see if somebody on staff would be interested, and obviously my name came up from Jason Santangelo, who used to be employed at Dynamic Discs, who is now here at Emporia State, and he wanted me to be involved, and I was honored that he brought my name up and to be a part of something like this at the collegiate level. And the fact that Emporia State's taking it very serious as an actual sport is huge, with scholarships and all that. So yeah, it's been a great experience thus far, and we're only diving in, and I can't wait for the future.
Okay, that's it for me. Thanks.
John, you want to bring us home?
Yeah, I got a couple. How long has this been in the works for, from your perspective?
From my perspective, it's been in the works for not terribly long, probably about a year or so. That I know there was a disc golf club that was involved at Emporia State. It was more of a group of players getting together and just kind of having fun, casually playing, and potentially going out to a couple of events here and there and doing leagues and training and whatnot. But it's kind of been we're still on the uphill climb of this as becoming an actual collegiate event here at Emporia State. So it's still relatively new.
Is there a men's and women's teams, or is it co-ed? How it's going to work?
That's still all stuff we're going to be working through. There are definitely men and women that compete, so I don't see why we would alleviate from that at all.
Schedule, do you know how that's going to work? Is it going to be more focused on tournaments format or individual one-on-one competition?
A lot of the collegiate stuff is all on teams, so it's like a match play style. You kind of operate as an entire team, not just singles. There are singles events that I would love for our team to travel to and play in, just for experience. But majority of the collegiate events are all done as a team.
Is there going to be a home course in Emporia that this team's going to compete at, or is that still kind of?
We have so many great courses here in Emporia that we can work. Hornet Hills, obviously, is going to be one that I'm going to have the guys and gals out at quite often because it's right here on campus. It's a great beginner-friendly course. You can work on a lot of different skill sets out there. And the fact that we have 2 actual championship-level disc golf courses here in town is going to be huge for the competitive side of our team.
Do you look forward to maybe hosting some events here at the collegiate level?
Absolutely. That's something else we want to do is host some events, behind Emporia State with dynamic discs involved, myself included, host events and have teams actually come here. We've done a little of that in the past, but doing it on a bigger scale is a goal of mine.
The only other question that popped up on my mind: how much gear is Dynamic Disc going to be given to you?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Great question. I know we're going to be working through some apparel, some jerseys, some bags, and some discs and that kind of thing. So, without the help of DD in Emporia State and Emporia, Kansas, this wouldn't happen.